What apps do you need living or traveling in China? Taxes. Can you retire in China? Opening a bank account, the different types of jobs, the visas, the VPNs, the doctor appointments, buying a house in China. I've got it all for you today because I don't want to miss anything, because it's probably the most important video that I will ever make. So I'll put the timestamps down below. Feel free to skip ahead and go watch whatever is important to you. So hi everyone, I'm Lizzie. I've been living in China for more than 7 years now. I used to be an English teacher, and I quit my job, opened my own company. Now I have a media company. I bought a house in China. So I'm going to share all my personal experiences with you today, what I have been using for the past 7 years, and only what I've been using. So if you have any other experiences, any other apps that you use, any other information, please feel free to comment down below and let's help everyone today. Let's go. So firstly, let's talk about the apps that you need while living in China or traveling in China. First and most importantly, WeChat. I use WeChat to communicate. It's like WhatsApp. So I use that to talk to people, to transfer money. And it's easy when someone types in Chinese, it translates immediately to English if you put that in your settings. I use it to pay my utilities. I use it to book event tickets, like when I go to the movies. And that's pretty much all I use WeChat for. But yes, it's 100% the most important app. It's also the app I use to scan if I go pay for something. But if you don't have WeChat, like if you don't live here, use Alipay, especially if you're traveling to China. WeChat, yes, it's important, but mainly get Alipay, because Alipay you will use for probably everything. Alipay you use to scan when you pay for something in the convenience store, pay for water, pay for your taxi, pay for whatever. And the good thing about Alipay is you can connect your international bank account to Alipay. Alipay, you also have the AMAP Didi, so you don't have to download a separate account. You can just use the AMAP, and that's like Uber, for example. So you tell the app where you want to go, and then someone comes to pick you up, drops you off, and you know how much it's going to cost. So that's very good as well. Alipay you can also use for all the public transport, for scanning a share bike, for using the bus. So here you get on the bus, you scan, you show your Alipay QR code, and that's it. Subways, you can use it to pay your subway ticket as well. And Alipay also has the Ele.me. So Ele.me is like when you order food, it's like Uber Eats, for example. So here it's just much bigger. So you can go on there, if you just at a hotel, you put in your address, you put in your room number, and you can order food. Okay, so two most important apps, WeChat to talk to people and Alipay to do everything else. Then third, you got your Didi app. If you do want to download a separate app, you don't need Didi if you have Alipay though, but if you feel safer, just get Didi. It is in English actually, so that is perfect. You just put in the Didi app where you want to go. Like I want to go to Salvador's, which is a restaurant here in Kunming. Put it in, Didi comes to pick you up, tells you how much it's going to be, drops you off. That's it. All you have to do is you're going to give him your cell phone number, the last 4 digits of your cell phone number when you get in. Then we got Gouda Maps. So this is how it looks like. It's in Chinese, but if you go on it and you search, for example, hospital, it picks up English, even though it gives you the information in Chinese. But if you have an iPhone, definitely rather use Apple Maps, because Apple Maps is in English. So those two are quite important. Then the only translation app that I use is Google Translate. You don't need any other app. You don't need to pay for an app. I use Google Translate for everything, to talk to people when there's a menu, to just scan it and translate. It's the easiest. So get Google Translate before you come here. Then, like I said, Ele.me is like the Uber Eats on Alipay, but a complete separate app that most people in China use is called Meituan. So Meituan is also an app you can download, whether you're just staying here for like 2 or 3 nights. Again, just put in your hotel address or where you are staying, and it will deliver your food. And it's so much more cheaper here in China to order food, because the delivery fee is not that expensive, and the food is much more affordable, and you get a lot of options. Like I told my mom when I first moved to China, I was like, yeah, I'm ordering takeout. And she's like, why are you not being healthy? I'm like, Mom, the perception is completely different in China. Here, takeout is healthy. It's normal cooked food as well. It's not like in the West where it's just like junk food. Okay, then, my favorite app, Taobao. Taobao, I would say when you are living here, get Taobao, because Taobao is online shopping and it comes within 2 to 3 days. So if you're maybe in China and you're at the same location for 1 week, I would suggest, yes, you can use Taobao to maybe order your clothes. I have some YouTube friends, they were here for like a week. They needed clothes, so they immediately went on Taobao, ordered clothes, got delivered to the hotel. So Taobao, and I can't stress this enough, how affordable it is. Then we got Trip.com. Now this video is not sponsored by Trip.com. I personally just use Trip.com for everything. To book my flights, to book my high-speed train tickets. And by the way, if you book a high-speed train ticket on Trip.com, you don't need to get a ticket physically when you get there. You just use your passport to go through the gate. That's literally it. And then I use it to book tickets, like when I went to Xi'an to the Terracotta Warriors, you can book it there. When you go to Tiananmen Square in Beijing. By the way, for this, a lot of people don't know, you need to book like a week in advance to go to Tiananmen Square because they only allow a certain amount of people in every single day. And then if you live here, just some quick advice. Besides Taobao, get Pinduoduo. Pinduoduo is like cheaper, much cheaper. Obviously it's more fake, but like the clothes. But I use Pinduoduo now for more than 5 years to get all my house stuff, like my house appliances. It is very good quality, so affordable. It's ridiculous. So Pinduoduo. And then you need your banking app. People say you need your banking app, but I have never, ever, in my 7 years living here, used my banking app because you just connect it immediately with your WeChat. And other than that, you just use WeChat to pay for everything, from Trip.com to everything. Okay, guys, so those are the apps. Again, please, these are the things that I use, that in my opinion you need, because that's all I've been using for 7 years and I've never struggled. So if you use any other apps, living in China, traveling in China, please comment down below to help other people as well. Okay, next, let's quickly talk about the visa, because that's probably one of the most important things. Anyway, I will put a link down in my description below so you can just click on and go find the visa and the exact requirements that you might need. But let's quickly talk about it. So you get the tourist visa, which is your L visa. That's just short term. That's if you like coming to visit someone. Then you get a student visa, which is your X visa. Then you get a work visa, your most common visa. It's called your Z visa or Z visa. And then you get a family visa, either Q or S. And you get a business visa, which is called your M or your F visa. So obviously a lot of you know that China has opened its doors to a lot of countries for 240 hours. So again, link will be down in my description below. Go check if you're from that country so you can just come in without a visa, or if you do need a visa for something, what are the exact requirements. And obviously, here we go. A lot of you will ask me about retirement. There is no retirement visa. So let's talk about that. Can you retire in China? Officially, no. You can come on a family visa, which is what my mom will do in the future. So you need someone to be living here. That's your family member. So either like me, the child, I can bring my mom over. She can live here on a family visa. So that's what a lot of people do. And then you obviously can marry someone in China to be able to stay here. But a lot of you ask, why doesn't China accept this? Well, first of all, immigration control. Healthcare costs is quite a lot. Like I heard before, this is not like they don't want you to die here in a bad way. That sounds very bad. But obviously it's a lot, right? If a foreigner passes away of old age or of sickness or something. And yeah, it's a very sensitive subject, but that is something, because China already has a huge aging population, right? So China is very heavy on control. So yeah, if you see older people here in China, it's not because they retire here. It's either because they are married to a Chinese, they already have some kind of business, so they are important still to China. Like I know 2 people here that are like 72 and 76, and they are still journalists. So that's how they get to stay here. So unfortunately, this is not like Thailand that you can just go and retire in. I wish there was, because it's safe. It's nice to live here. I mean, older people have an amazing life here, being able to walk around all the time. And life is definitely affordable here. Okay, next up we got healthcare and insurance. This is also a big one I get about hospitals. So here, if you're a local Chinese, just fun fact, if you work at a company, the company pays 60% and you have to pay 40%. So like most of my friends, they just do the basic one, 1,600 RMB. So the company pays 60% of that. So that's pretty amazing. And I mean, with this, they get maternity leave, medical insurance, and part of their pension. So foreigners, if you work in China, your employer will always provide this for free. They are supposed to. It's a requirement, it's the law. So you don't have to worry about medical insurance if you work here legally. Then if you are not working as a teacher or you don't have an employer, like myself, I own my own company, I have to get my own insurance. So I have a private plan, but it's only connected to China. I pay around 3,000 RMB per year, and I'll put a screenshot here for you to see. Just pause and you can read through that. This is everything I get. So I think it's pretty affordable. Doctor's appointment. This is very important because a lot of people say different things. Like, oh, you can do it on WeChat, just make a doctor's appointment. Yes, for locals, but for foreigners, it gets quite complicated because you have to translate, screenshot, go to the other app, translate, then go back. It's very, very complicated. So what I've been doing ever since I've been living in China, and I've never had a problem, is you just search on your maps, hospital, you go to your nearest hospital, you go in, and there's always a front desk when you go into a hospital. You go straight to them, you translate if they can't speak English. A lot of the cities can, but obviously if you're in a bit smaller city, not everyone can speak English. You just translate, you want to see a doctor, this and this and this is wrong, and they will help you with everything. All that you definitely need to take with you is your passport. So take your passport, they'll help you, because a lot of the times it's very difficult for a foreigner to like apply online and get a real booking, because a lot of times they don't have an option for foreign passports. So these people always help you. And most of the times, I'm going to be honest, they even let you skip the line because you are a foreigner. That's just the truth. So definitely don't worry about making an appointment online. Just go to your nearest hospital and they will help you there immediately with whatever you need. So the basic cost, I've never paid more than 50 RMB, 50 RMB for a doctor's appointment just to see the doctor. Private hospitals definitely will be more expensive. My opinion, you don't need a private hospital. If you feel safe with that, go for it. But I've never had a problem at a public hospital or felt like, oh, it's dirty or these people, are not good. No. Public hospitals are more than good enough. Okay, let's talk about jobs. So the most common job that all the foreigners are doing, or most foreigners are doing here in China, is teaching English. So if you want to teach English, you can go to a training center. They work Wednesdays to Sundays normally. You can go to a school or a kindergarten. They work Mondays to Fridays. And then you can go to university. So just quick salary, for example, training centers pay good. Kindergartens are probably the highest pays, but also you work very long hours. It's like from 8 to 6 most of the times. Yeah, you do have like an hour lunch break, but that's also the most common job that everyone does here, because you don't need to have the highest degree in education to come teach here. Like now the rules are changing a bit, but is it raining? No. But most of us, if you have a normal degree, because that's a requirement, you need a degree, a police clearance, and a TEFL certificate to teach English in China. So training centers, schools, and then you get universities. Universities are the lowest paid jobs, but also the least amount of work. So I have a few friends that only work like 3 days a week, but obviously they get little pay. So it's completely up to you. But kindergarten is definitely the easiest to get into, just to get into China. Then you can have corporate job, be in technology, engineering, translation jobs, but that's not really that common, to be quite honest with you. In the bigger cities, there's a lot of like marketers and designers, models. I have a lot of foreign friends that are now models, so that's also something you can do. But my main advice is to get into China will be teaching English, because that's the easiest. Because you need to remember, China doesn't just want teachers, they actually care about talent and providing something to China. Talking about jobs, Okay, big one, taxes. Let's go to my office for this one. Let me explain to you.
Okay guys, let's do the tax. So I'm going to screenshot this and put it up on the screen for you. So don't worry about that. Okay, so as you can see here, if your salary is between 1 to 5,000 RMB, you are getting taxed 0% on that. Now between 5K and 8K, you are getting taxed 3%. But here, as you can see, this difference is 3,000, correct? So if we take 3,000 times 3%, that's 90 RMB that you're going to get taxed for this. Let me just explain to you. For example, if your salary is 5,500 RMB, that means it's only 500, right, that you're getting taxed for. So that is 500 times the 3%, 15. So that means your total salary is going to be 4,485 RMB after tax. Okay. The next one here we got 8K to 17K. You get taxed 10%. So here this difference is 9K, correct? 9,000 times 10%. Oh, that's 900, right? So here the most is 900. I'm not going to do an example again because I want to show you something now. And then let's just do one more. Then I'm going to give you an example of a salary. Then from 17K to 30K, you get taxed 20%. Now this difference here is 13K. 13,000 times 20%, that's 2,600. Okay, now not your average salary here in Kunming, but I feel like good teachers here in Kunming, they'll make, let's say, 25,000 RMB before tax. Okay, this is an average teacher. Okay, so now 5,000 of this is not getting taxed, right? 0%. Then 3,000 is getting taxed at 3%. So that we worked out is 90 RMB. Then 9K, 9,000 of this is going to be taxed at 10%. We worked that out as 900, correct? So how much is left? Okay, so here we can see 8,000 is left from this. And 8,000 is going to get taxed at 20%. So what is that? Let's work that out. 8,000 times 20%, 1,600 RMB. So we're going to take 25,000 minus 90 minus 900 minus 1,600. So after tax, this teacher is going to get 22,410 RMB. So that is how tax works, guys, here in China. If you don't understand, please give me a comment down below and use capital letters tax so I can see your comment very easily, okay? And I'll try to help and explain to you even more.
Okay, next up we have housing and renting. So there are two main apps that I use. I know there are a lot, but these are the two apps that I use. It's called Anjuk. This is the picture, how it looks, and 58. So these are the two apps that I use. So here, if you want to rent an apartment, you go on these apps, you search in your area or wherever you want to live. All the options will come out for you. You click on one, there will be a guy's number, you add his WeChat, and there you go. You type in English, he types in Chinese. It's very easy. You guys then set up an appointment. You go check out the apartment. If you like it, he will then talk to the Fandong, which is the owner of the house. And that's it. They set up a contract, you sign the contract, and there you go. So to rent an apartment here in China, you have quite a few options. You can either rent the apartment for 1 month, which is not common at all, to be honest. Mostly 3 months, 6 months, and a year. The longer you rent and you pay up front, the cheaper it will be. So if you have a 2,000 RMB apartment and you pay for a year, it will be much cheaper than if you only pay for 3 months. For example, here you have two fees that you have to pay immediately, which is the agency fee So that's 1 month's rent. And then you also have to pay a deposit, which is equivalent to 1 month's rent. So for example, if your apartment is 2,000 RMB per month, you will pay an extra 2,000 RMB for the agency fee and an extra 2,000 RMB for the deposit. So quite a lot of money the first time, but once you get going, you're good to go. Ooh, next one, owning a house as a foreigner. Wow, a lot of people ask me this question. It's probably the question I get the most. So the requirements are, if you want to buy a house as a foreigner, you have to live in China for at least 1 year. So stable income and pay taxes. You can only buy one apartment ever. And it must be for personal use. So you can't buy it for investment reasons or commercial use. And some cities, there are extra rules. So I'm only talking about Kunming here in Yunnan province. This is what I did, because this is all that I know. In China, all the land belongs to the state. You can own it for 70 years. After 70 years, the government can take it back, but also they kind of exploring with something that you can renew, like you're going to negotiate with the government, you can renew that, you can set new terms, but this is still very unclear because since they came up with this idea, houses hasn't been used for more than 70 years. So let me tell you about my experience. So you have to live in China, as I said, for 1 year. Then you need approval from the local housing authority. So if you want to buy a house, you talk to your agent and then they will get you in touch with people, and that's how you start communicating. And that's pretty much it. Yeah. So for the 70 years thing, I didn't really care that much about it because honestly, I just bought a house because anyway, I live in China long term, and to pay rent for 2,200 RMB, I'd rather just pay back, on my mortgage, 1,200 RMB extra and own that. Because right now I'm living in a very good area with good schools around me, and they're busy building a new shopping center right next to the apartment. So I know in, let's say, 5 to 10 years, that price is gonna go up a lot, and that's when I'm going to sell the house. So that is my plan with my apartment. My main point with this is you have to bring value to China's economy. You can't just move to China, own a house, or buy a house here and you don't, have anything to offer for the Chinese economy. So that is why it is so difficult. Like I said, it's not like in Thailand. Okay, let's talk about money and banking. To open a bank account, you need a residence visa. Definitely, that's one of the most important things. People are like, no, you just need a passport. No, you have to prove you stay in China because they're not just going to open a bank account for you for 1 month. Then a lot of people do business here in China. So they come to China every year for a few months. That's how they can get a visa. They, again, offer something to the Chinese economy. So they get a special visa, like a business visa, and that allows them to open a Chinese bank account. But other than that, if you have your residence permit, all you need is your passport and a Chinese phone number. That's it. After you open your banking app, you just connect it to your WeChat or your Alipay, and after that, you'll probably never use your Chinese bank account or the app ever again because, wow, I don't even remember when was the last time I used my bank card. Yeah, wow. But yeah. Oh, sending money. Why does no one talk about that? Sending money is quite a big thing. A lot of my friends send money back to their countries. And here it's kind of complicated. When you want to send money to your country, for example, you have to go to the bank. You have to proof of income, proof of tax. It's very complicated, but it is possible. But my advice is when you move to China, or again, you're in China for a very long time, you have your banking account, you will definitely be added into a WeChat group somehow with foreigners. And in that group, you just ask, definitely there will be someone using someone that sends money back. So I know for South Africans, we mostly use a guy, same guy in all the cities, which is kind of cool. But so we pay him, like for example, let's say I want to send 5,000 RMB back home, I have to pay him 100 RMB. So all I do, I send him the money, I send him the bank account that he needs to transfer to, and he does it all. So that's what we do, not complicated at all. To get money into China, if someone can answer that question for me, I'll be so thankful, because I have never heard about money coming in to a Chinese bank account, because I heard that's even more complicated to get money into China. Okay, transport. This is something that I've mentioned, but let me just talk about it again. So transport, download Alipay. And Alipay, you will use your QR code. For example, when you step into a bus, all you do is you just show your QR code to the bus driver and off you go. When you want to go into the subway, you use that to pay for your ticket wherever you want to go. Use Alipay to scan the share bikes, to go around on the, the public bikes. You use Alipay to get your AMAP Didi. So Didi is like Uber. So Alipay is the answer for everything. When you go on your AMAP Didi, all you do is you copy and paste the location that you want to go to. Someone will pick you up, and that's as easy as that. Another app you can download if you want is the Didi app. Didi, like I said, is the Chinese Uber. Again, very easy. It's in English. You just copy and paste your location in there. It'll take you right to the place that you want to go, pick you up, and that's pretty much it. Okay, next we got VPNs. So you have to download a VPN before you come to China. You can't get a VPN once you land in China. So VPN, if you didn't know, China has the Great Firewall. So WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, none of that works unless you have a VPN. So before you come to China, download a VPN. A lot of people use ExpressVPN, NordVPN, or Shadow Rocket. So if you're coming to China and you do know someone, I suggest you ask them what VPN they're using, because all foreigners use different VPNs, and they can probably send you the WeChat account of that guy, and he will send you the download link, download the VPN, you pay with him immediately through Alipay. Alipay is important, and that's about it. If you want to do on Google, yeah, I know most people use ExpressVPN or Astro. Okay guys, I think I mentioned everything. Please let me know down in the comments if there's something I forgot to mention, because this video is really important. I really want to answer these questions because those are the most basic questions. So why I never talk about it, I don't know. I apologize. Yeah, life in China can feel very scary before you come. Like, they don't use cash here. You're gonna be scared of the technology. How do people do things? Like, especially if you're a bit older, you don't know how everything works and it's just scary. It's not. Just start with the basics. When you come to China, of course, for 2-3 days, it's going to be something to adapt to. But once you get used to everything, it is the most convenient and amazing life ever. You will probably stay here. So yeah. Okay guys, thanks for watching. As I said, I hope I mentioned everything. Let me know if this video was useful to you. If it was, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.